Hello, this is Bryant Myers, author of the book PEMF, The Fifth Element of Health. If you are experiencing arthritis, back pain, neck pain, migraines, body aches, fibromyalgia, or any form of pain whatsoever, then this may be the most important video you have ever seen. So please just press pause for a minute, grab a pen or pencil, and take notes and watch this all the way through. You do not have to suffer with pain anymore. In this video, I'm going to share with you what Dr. Oz called the biggest breakthrough in pain management he had ever seen, called PEMF therapy, which stands for Pulsed Electromagnetic Field Therapy. And it's related to magnetic therapy, but as we'll see, it's much more powerful, it's deeper penetrating, and the benefits for both pain relief and healing and regeneration are even beyond what magnetic therapy can offer. Also in this video, we're going to look at what pain is, why you experience pain, and the big problem with pain medication. And we'll share PEMF therapy as a natural, non-invasive, and effective solution to end pain once and for all. So let's begin by looking at some statistics on pain. Pain affects more Americans than diabetes, heart disease, and cancer combined. Chronic pain affects 100 million Americans, according to the Institute of Medicine of the National Academies. 1 in 3 Americans are affected by more than 100 types of arthritis that usually results in severe pain. Fibromyalgia affects 12 million Americans, most of which are women. And research shows that 50 to 70% of patients die in moderate to severe pain. Now, here's the most common forms of pain of all the pain that's been reported. Low back pain was the most common, about 27%. Severe headache or migraine and neck pain both accounted for 15%. And facial pain was about 4%. That's the mouth, teeth, jaw, and the eyes. I just want to share these statistics just to show how prevalent pain is and just what a major problem it is in this country. So what is pain? Well, pain is vital to humans because it signals that something is wrong. Thus, pain is not a disease, but rather it's an important warning sign to protect the body. Now, pain has many manifestations. It may be manifest as throbbing, cutting, piercing, pressing, dull, or paralyzing, and it may occur suddenly or periodically. And the causes are varied. There could be heat, pressure, stretching, injuries, and many other factors to cause pain. And it can be a result of chronic diseases like cancer, heart disease. Pretty much every disease has pain as a side effect of some form or another. The International Association for the Study of Pain widely used definition states, pain is an unpleasant sensory and emotional experience associated with actual or potential tissue damage or described in terms of such damage. So pain is good. It motivates us to take our hand off the stove. It's like the engine light in your car. When the oil light is on, you know something is wrong. So it does serve a purpose, but sometimes the pain signal can be much too strong, as we'll see. Now, chronic pain is simply a form of pain that persists over time, where the pain signals keep firing in the nervous system for weeks, months, and even years, even after the body is healed. Or it could just be that the body never did heal. Like with arthritis and inflammation, sometimes the inflammation is always there. Now, how is pain perceived? Nociceptors is just a technical term for a receptor of a sensory neuron that responds to potentially damaging stimuli by sending signals to the spinal cord and brain. And the process is called nociception. It usually causes the perception of pain. So we do have nerve cells that actually are sending signals to our spinal cord and brain telling us that something is wrong. Again, if your hand is on the stove, the nociceptors will relay to your spinal cord or brain, especially to your spinal cord right away, to take your hand off the stove. The perception of pain involves these pain receptors, and they relay the stimuli, as we said, to the spinal cord and brain, and they're in varying densities across the body. On average, each square centimeter of your skin has more than 300 nociceptors. In order for the pain message to reach the brain rapidly, the pain is relayed at the rate of several meters per second. There's a switching point in the area of the spinal cord that decides whether the complaint is important enough to be relayed to the brain. The cerebellum and the pituitary gland and other glands in your brain react to the message by secreting opiate-like substances called endorphins, which we'll talk about more in a minute, which inhibit the transfer of the pain stimulus to the brain, and it certainly gives relief as well. There's basically 2 mechanisms. There's the signal that creates a sensation of pain, and then there's endorphins which relieve the pain. And there's a whole cascade of hormones that gives you the sensation of pain, but endorphins and other happiness hormones in the brain, like serotonin and a few others, help to make the body more at ease and more relaxed, and it helps to sort of soothe the pain. And interestingly, as we'll see, a lot of drugs are opiate-derived type of drugs that are for pain relief, like Vicodin and Percocet and oxycodone and morphine. They're all opiate-derived, so your brain can create those naturally. Let's take a quick look at the allopathic approach to pain. You can call this the numbing and dumbing approach to pain, because what it's doing is it's giving you synthetic chemicals that basically turn off the sensation of pain, but unfortunately they have side effects and they don't fix the problem. Prescription painkillers are also considered the major contributor to the total number of drug deaths. In 2007, for example, nearly 28,000 Americans died from unintentional drug poisoning, and of these, 12,000 involved prescription pain relievers. So let's talk now about PEMF, what I call the smart choice. PEMF, or pulsed electromagnetic therapy, is a natural, non-invasive, safe, and effective treatment for pain relief. It is related to magnetic therapy, but instead of a constant magnetic field, it provides a magnetic field that changes with time. It really is the most effective, natural form of pain relief that there is. And like I said, Dr. Oz featured PEMF on his show in 2011 as the biggest breakthrough in pain management he had ever seen. There are 10,000 research studies, including over 2,000 double-blind studies, that show that PEMF therapy works. It is very well researched, very well established, and in my 7 years of experience with PEMF therapy, pain relief is by far the number one reason people invest in a PEMF therapy device. PEMF therapy helps with pain relief in 3 powerful ways. These ways are all been research proven. Number 1, PEMF increases endorphins, serotonin, and other hormones that help to relieve pain. Number 2, PEMF therapy reduces and temporarily interrupts the pain signal, and less signal equals less pain. And number 3, and most importantly, is that PEMF therapy actually heals the problem. Using the analogy with the oil light going off in your car, PEMF therapy is like putting the oil back into your car so the engine light turns off like it should. Where the traditional medicine approach is sort of like cutting the wires to the engine light so that you don't know there's a problem, but the engine's still burning up and the problem's still there. Not only does it symptomatically relieve pain, but it actually heals and regenerates the tissue so the pain really goes away. So how does this work? Let's begin with endorphins. Endorphins are also the feel-good hormone, or the happiness hormone. Endorphins are your body's endogenous morphine or natural opiates. Your body makes opiates. You don't have to take morphine and oxycodone and Percocet and Vicodin and all these opiate drugs that your doctors can prescribe, because there's ways to naturally stimulate endorphins in your body. And PEMF therapy is definitely one of those, and there's research to prove that. And when your endorphin levels are high, you naturally just feel happier. You feel more relaxed. You feel less stress, and you certainly feel less pain. Why do you think that most of the most powerful painkillers are opiate-related painkillers? It's because endorphins have been shown to be the most effective form of pain relief. But your body can create them naturally. And not only PEMF therapy, but also massage, yoga, meditation, deep breathing. We know that exercise increases endorphins, deep sleep, low stress. There's certain foods that increase endorphins. Good hydration increases endorphins. And certainly just smiling. It's been shown that just smiling increases endorphins, even if you do nothing and just smile. But add PEMF therapy to all that and just watch the magic happen. You'll really notice some serious pain relief. So the second way that PEMF therapy helps, along with endorphins, is that it interrupts the signal that causes pain. PEMF generates microcurrents to run through the neural pathways, which reduces the signal needed to create the feeling or sensation of pain. Less signal equals less pain perception. Let me repeat that. Less signal equals less pain perception. So PEMF not only helps to improve your happiness hormones so you'll just feel better and feel less pain, but it directly decreases the triggering of the pain response. In doing so, it raises your threshold for pain so that you don't feel pain as intensely. And the third reason, like I mentioned, PEMF therapy is one of the best natural solutions for healing tissue, both nerve tissue, ligaments, joints. Wherever your source of pain, usually there's some kind of injury or some kind of trauma. And PEMF therapy will actually help to heal and regenerate your tissues so that the signals for pain naturally go away. So in conclusion, PEMF therapy helps with pain relief in 3 powerful ways. Number 1, it increases endorphins, your body's natural opiate-like compounds, to help naturally relieve the pain. Number 2, it reduces and temporarily interrupts the pain signal. And remember, less signal equals less pain. And number 3, it heals the problem and regenerates tissue so that the pain naturally goes away. Thanks for listening, and for more information, go to my website, PEMFbook.com. You can instantly download 3 free chapters there. I always welcome your questions, comments, and feedback. Get in touch with me at PEMFbook.com/contact. I sincerely hope the information in these videos will help you in your quest for greater health, happiness, and well-being. Hello, my name is Bryant Myers, author of the book PEMF, The Fifth Element of Health. This is a follow-up video to my first PEMF for pain video. And if you haven't watched that, watch that video first, because that gives the background for why PEMF therapy helps with pain relief, kind of gives you the theory. And in this video, I wanted to give you practical tips and strategies and pain protocols that you can implement to get success with pain relief using PEMF therapy. Just to recap, remember Dr. Oz called PEMF therapy the biggest breakthrough in pain management he had ever seen. PEMF therapy helps with pain relief in 3 powerful ways, which we talked about in detail in the first video. Number 1, it increases endorphins. Number 2, it reduces and temporarily interrupts the pain signal. And remember, less signal equals less pain perception. And number 3, it actually heals the problem, the injury, or the trauma. And I want to give you pain protocols in this video for the 3 most common sources of pain. The number 1 most common source is low back pain, and that affects about 27% of the people that have pain problems. The second most common, there's a tie for second, and it's severe headaches or migraine pain is about 15%, and neck pain is also about 15%. So between low back pain, severe headaches and migraine and neck pain, that accounts for well over 50% of all incidents of pain. In this video, really roll up our sleeves and give you some practical advice you can use to get rid of pain once and for all. I want to now help you, guide you on what to look for in a PEMF system before we get into the protocols, so that way the protocols will make more sense as far as what we're talking about. So you want to look for a whole body mat system with local applicators. And what I mean by that is you want to have a full body mat, a mat that's roughly 6 feet long and a couple feet wide, that you can lay on and work on your whole body. That's really important because it opens up the circulation throughout your body, and it's going to locally help improve oxygenation and nutrient delivery to that source of pain. The next thing I want you to look for is a PEMF device that has earth frequencies. And you want to use safe intensities. I did a whole video series on why more is not better and the myth of high-intensity PEMF. You do not need high intensity. In fact, it can be counterproductive and take your body out of healing because it provides a constant stress to the body. The safest and most effective intensities in my research has been roughly between 0 to 300 microtesla. In that range, you're very safe to use every day. The very high intensity systems you can use short term, but I do not recommend those for daily use. And the final thing is a rapid rise and fall waveform, which NASA found to be the most effective waveform for healing and regeneration. Currently, I personally use and recommend the IMRS 2000 mainly because it is in harmony with the body and what nature gives us. The IMRS and the previous generation MRS 2000 have nearly 20 years of clinical research in Germany and abroad, and these pain protocols I'm going to share with you are from proven research in clinical settings from over 200,000 patients and hundreds of doctors. So these protocols are really based on results. But there are other good units on the market, and these protocols will also work with other PEMF devices as long as they're like a lower frequency, lower intensity with a full body mat device. The protocols in this video are based on settings of the IMRS 2000 and the older generation MRS 2000. The range and intensities is from 0.009 microtesla on the sensitive level up to 300 microtesla on level 400. If you have another brand, these numbers might not make sense, but just know that from the low to the high, up from sensitive or level 10 up to 400, it's ranging from very, very weak up to 300 microtesla, which relative to the Earth, that's about 4 times as strong as the Earth's natural intensity. So let's begin. Again, we're going to go over protocols for low back pain, mid back pain, neck pain, and also migraines and headaches. So let's start with low back pain. Low back pain affects 80% of all Americans, and at any given moment, around 1 in 10 people are experiencing back pain. Now, back pain is associated with overexertion, heavy lifting, but it can also be a result of inactivity and poor posture. Now, let's look at the pain protocols based on hundreds of thousands of patients in Germany and several hundred doctors. What they recommend for low back pain is using the full body mat for 8 minutes twice a day, level 25 in the morning and level 10 at night. And again, those are settings with the IMRS 2000. But those are low intensity settings. So if you have another unit, you can just use the lower intensity settings. You want to use a slightly lower intensity at night so that you don't overstimulate the body. Now with the pillow pad, you want to use that for 16, this is for low back pain, for 16 minutes 2 to 3 times a day, and more is okay for acute and severe pain. And you want to use the 150 to 200% level, so that's going to be a higher intensity, roughly in the 40 to 50 microtesla range. And look at the images here that are on the video. You can kind of see here's a sample placements of the pillow pad, which you can use on low back pain if you're sitting down or laying down. You can do it either way. And the nice thing about this, it's very convenient. You could be reading a book or watching TV and just keep pressing go and really help to speed up the healing, especially if you have an acute injury of your low back. So for mid-back, you want to follow the same protocols, but instead of level 150 to 200, you use level 100, which is maybe 20 to 30 microtesla, a little lower intensity, because it's in the torso area and some of the vital organs are there. So we want to use a slightly lower intensity and still level 25 in the morning, level 10 at night. For acute and serious pain, like I mentioned, chiropractic care and ice is recommended. And you'll use ice 15 to 20 minutes once per hour initially while it's really severe. So now let's talk about neck pain. Neck pain, like I said, comprises about 15% of pain complaints. In a rigorous Cochrane review of literature of electrotherapy modalities for mechanical neck pain and acute whiplash injuries, reliable evidence was found for immediate benefits of PEMF therapy in mechanical neck disorders and acute whiplash injuries. By comparison, the Cochrane elaboration found not so much benefits for electrical muscle stimulation, TENS units, permanent magnets, and other electrotherapy components. And that is some very good research. Cochrane reviews are systematic reviews of primary research in human health care and health policy and are internationally recognized as the highest standard in evidence-based health care. And I share that research with you just to show you how PEMF therapy really does seem to work the best compared to other forms of energy medicine. Let's get right into the pain protocols for neck pain. Now, for neck pain, you're going to want to use the full body mat for 8 minutes, 2 to 3 times a day, level 25 in the morning, level 10 at night. And the pillow pad, you're going to want to use 2 to 3 times daily. More is okay, like I said, for severe pain, at level 25 to 50% in the area of the neck muscles. And this is going to be a lower intensity because the head and the neck are very sensitive, and the thyroid as well. So you don't want to use quite as high intensity as you were on the low back. Now, for acute and serious pain, like I mentioned, I do recommend good chiropractic care and ice to help with the immediate inflammation. But the PEMF therapy is also going to be very effective to help with the inflammation. So it's when you combine them all together that you get this magical synergy. The last form of pain relief I want to talk about is headaches or migraines. According to the National Headache Foundation, over 45 million Americans suffer from chronic recurring headaches, and of these, 28 million suffer from migraines. Also called chronic daily headaches or chronic non-progressive headaches, tension headaches are the most common type of headaches among adults and adolescents. These muscle contraction headaches cause mild to moderate pain and come and go over a prolonged period of time. Migraine pain is moderate to severe, often described as pounding, throbbing pain. Migraine headaches can last from 4 hours to 3 days and usually occur 1 to 4 times per month. Migraines are associated with symptoms such as sensitivity to light, noise, or odors, nausea or vomiting, loss of appetite, and stomach upset or abdominal pain. The exact cause of migraines is unknown, but a popular theory is that various triggers cause abnormal brain activity, which in turn changes the blood vessels in the brain. That's called the neurovascular theory. Now, according to one Harvard neurologist and headache expert, many migraine headaches may have evolved if neck-related muscle tension headaches were not successfully addressed earlier in life. Along with PEMF therapy, chiropractic adjustment, massage, and proper diet and exercise really help with migraines. So let's look at, again, the protocols based on the German research and the clinical research of over 200,000 patients and several hundred doctors. And what they recommend is using the full body mat 8 minutes 2 to 4 times a day, 25 in the morning, level 10 in the afternoon, and sensitive at night. And use the pillow pad on the head area 1 to 2 times daily, level 25 to 50. And for migraines, you can also use the probe for 24 minutes, 1 to 2 times daily on level 100 to 150. And you want to use the probe on the temple for acupuncture and local treatment. I want to conclude this 2-part video with action steps you can take to help with low back pain, mid back pain, neck pain, or headaches or migraines. And this is in addition to the protocols that I shared. The number one thing that you can do to assist in pain relief that will assist the PEMF therapy is to drink a lot of water. And you want to drink at least 1 big glass of water before each PEMF therapy session and at least half your body weight in ounces a day. Number 2, alkalize your body. Try to eat a more alkaline diet. And this is basically more fresh green foods, more fruits and veggies, whole grains, certain nuts and seeds. And you don't have to be fanatical and listen to your body, but definitely try to alkalize your body. And one little tip is you can do some fresh lemon and water in the morning. That's a good way to alkalize the body. And if you have a water ionizer, you can do some alkaline ionized water a couple times a day. Number 3, deliberate deep abdominal breathing during the treatment. So while you're on the full body mat, you can do some deep belly breathing, and that really helps to further enhance the healing process. Number 4 is add a good multivitamin and other supplements that help with pain relief and inflammation. And then here's some examples of some supplements besides a multivitamin that could be helpful. Systemic enzymes have been shown to help with inflammation. Turmeric, ginger, boswellia are some herbs that have been shown to be anti-inflammatory. Omega-3 fatty acids, like krill oil, fish oil, or if you want to get a vegan source, they make some really good vegan DHA supplements. Astaxanthin, which is found in krill oil, but something you could take separately, is very powerful anti-inflammatory. MSM is well known to be anti-inflammatory and good for your joints. And the mineral magnesium in a bioavailable form. And magnesium really helps with muscle relaxation. So it takes that pain and tension away. So those are just some ideas. Do some more research yourself, but definitely look into some supplements to take for pain and inflammation. Number 5, smile and laugh more. Believe it or not, laughter actually increases endorphins. Norman Cousins was one of the first people to really bring this to public awareness. And I won't get into his story, but he found that definitely laughter and smiling helps with pain relief. Number 6, use the correct settings on the equipment that you have. So again, if you're working with the IMRS 2000, you can follow the protocols that I've shared. If you have another system, please do get the expert guidance on what settings to use. And finally, number 7, invest in a good earth-based PEMF system like the IMRS 2000 and actually use it every day. Believe it or not, the most important tip I give people is just use it, because a lot of people don't get results because they stop using it. It sounds pretty simple, but that is definitely the number one tip, because PEMF therapy works. It's research proven. You just have to use it regularly.